Okay, welcome back. We are going to stick with the trend of doing some winter gear reviews. Stuff I use winter camping or in the winter season. Something that makes your trips and camping a little more comfortable. The next thing we're going to do, I'm not going to go through the recap on this one. But if you haven't looked at the gear reviews, check them out. There's probably 5 or 6 or something before this one. Anyways, we are going to do tent booties. These have changed the game for me. My buddy actually convinced me to buy these on our first winter camping trip. He said they were pretty necessary, and you know, for the price I was like, ooh, wow, like, all right, I'll do it, but I hope they're necessary. He was right. They are. They really changed the game for comfort level. Again, I've said this many times before, I don't go do a survivalist or ultralight camping trips. I like to go camping for comfort, for the ambiance, for the atmosphere, and just to R&R and be in nature. I don't need to challenge myself or prove to myself I can sleep under a tarp. I know I can. So we are doing tent booties. These are from MEC, which is the Canadian equivalent to REI. And they are down-filled, hard-soled, well, not hard, but semi-hard. They still bend, but they do have a hard bottom. Down-filled, basically, boots you wear inside your tent. So after you take your big winter baffins off or something, and you get into your tent, you put these on, so that you're not tracking all that snow and water around throughout your whole tent inside, or on the canvas floor like I do winter camping. You put these on. And that way you can walk on your sleeping bag with them because they're dry. You can walk around the tent because they're dry. And yet, everyone knows that the ground level inside a winter tent is cold. Usually the first foot is pretty cold. These really make a difference. They're down-filled, and they've got that ripstop nylon coating over top, or covering over top. They have an edge of this rubber, and then the sole. So, and like I said, the sole does bend. It's flexible, but it is hard and it's really textured. It gives you a lot of grip with these. So these are also nice, guys. You know how it is, ladies. Unfortunately, you've got a little bit more work to do. But guys, when you want to go out for a piss, when you got to go take a leak, it's pretty nice just to be able to slip these on, just like slippers. Walk out. Do your thing, come back in, and usually outside your tent you've got a pack down trail anyways, and you just usually go off of that main trail. So they don't really get much snow on them, or you're not walking in deep snow with them, although you can. They're a slipper. They're a winter camping tent slipper is basically what they are. But being down-filled really is nice. They're really warm, and like I said, that ground foot, you're basically... For me, I sit on my thermarest, so I usually make my bed on the ground. I usually do not have a cot or anything like that when I'm winter camping. It's just on the ground, and that's the way I like it. So the bottom foot of the tent is usually colder, and these just make a lot of difference to have warm feet. I will say that there is a flaw in the way these work for me. So the pros is that it's down-filled, they do dry easy, they are pretty challenging to get wet, they've got rubber halfway up or part way up the boot, and they've got a nice textured grippy sole. But the con is, if you cross your legs like I'm sitting right now, this side of the boot is now on the ground. So there are times I'm sitting on the edge of my thermarest, the floor is snow, I cross my legs in front of me, and now the outer edges of both of these boots will be on the snow. They do get wet. The heat from the boot, from my foot heating up the inside of the boot, makes this part get warm. And then when I do this with crossed legs on the snow, when I stand up again, this is wet, and I can feel the cold right through them. So even though they're down-filled, I can feel the cold come right through, and it starts to get wet. So that's kind of a con. If they were to change the design, I would have liked to have seen the outer edges be this whole rubber thing, but really it's not that big of a deal. I've modified my winter camping enough that I use a canvas ground sheet now, so I don't have that problem. Unless my ground sheet gets wet because it's too warm inside, which happens. Then I still get the wetness. But it's really not that big of a deal. I just have to be cognizant of it and sit further back on my thermarest, cross my legs over my sleeping bag that I'm sitting on, and then they don't touch the ground. They got a nice drawstring too, so you can seal the top up here so snow doesn't get in if you're walking in deep snow. Or if you're cold and you want to, trap the heat in a little tighter. I don't usually have to do the drawstring up. I use these just like slippers, and they're very comfortable. So these are $60 Canadian. So far, every price I've given you on these gear reviews is Canadian. So these are $60 Canadian, and they are worth every penny. I wouldn't say that the flaws would dissuade me from buying these again. If I wrecked these or lost these, I would definitely buy them again. So if you do winter camping, you get cold feet, you want to be more comfortable, they're so comfortable, they're so soft and down-filled, that they're just a really comfortable winter camping slipper. These are definitely a good part, a good item to add to your kit. They are warm. They are soft. They have a good sole on them. They do not have arch support. Zero arch support. If you need arch support, these are not for you. You might want to put in a liner inside them, which these will take. You can put a Dr. Scholl's liner in them or something like that. That's not a problem. But themselves, they have a flat bottom. There we go. So yeah, great addition to the kit. Okay, that one was quick. I am trying to push through these gear reviews. I've got a lot to do, and there's really not a lot I can say about every piece of gear. But I can give you my opinion, and my opinion is those are worth every penny at $60 Canadian. I take them every single time I go camping in any cold weather whatsoever, and I've actually taken them camping in even early fall, like when I go elk hunting or something like that. I will take them just because they're so comfortable to walk around in inside the tent, the canvas tent, even when I don't actually need insulation on my feet. So, good item to buy. You should check them out. MEC or REI. I'm sure Amazon has a ton of options online. Make sure they're down-filled. Even though, down is hard to dry and that kind of stuff, down is the difference. So, until next time, thanks for watching.